It's about the EU citizens' rights.
Yes.
And the EU citizen having problems and being denied the vote.
Yes. We discussed this the other night very, very deeply, but please say what you've got to say about it.
That news was all over the Spanish media, and I asked some Scots abroad to tell me what they think about that. I asked them to if they had any problem to register or to vote, and I have here a message from Colin McPherson, the Australian, the Germans for Scottish independence. If you allow me to read that, it's okay?
Yes, please.
Yes, Colin says, for any EU citizens who has chosen to make their life in another country, the EU elections are always important as they offer one of the few chances to vote where you live. For the Scots, you are completely disenfranchised after 15 years. Equally, voting in national elections in your home country when you have chosen to make your life elsewhere seems to make little sense. This is something the EU ought to address. On that basis, I was delighted to be able to vote after all and disgusted at how many people were disenfranchised by the incompetence of the UK system, EU citizens in the UK and vice versa. In Germany, I had minor problems casting my vote. Having confirmed it in March, I was registered. I phoned the local electoral office last week to make arrangements for a postal vote. They discovered I was not registered, but promised to look into it. A few hours later, I received a phone call, was told a mistake had been made, and it would be sorted out. The next day, I cast my vote. So, where there is a will, there is a way. On a European basis, it will be important that the populist parties that are gaining support in many countries like AfD in Germany are pitched back. For Scotland, I hope that we send a clear sign to Westminster and Europe that Scotland wants to remain a part of the family of nations, and we will do it as an equal partner. That's Colin McPherson, an Australian from Australia, German for the Scottish independence. I spoke also to some Scots in Malaga, for example. They had no problem at all to register. They have no problem.
So did you actually hear of any problems anywhere other than in the UK?
Well, yes, with the postal vote. The postal vote is...
But that was the postal votes coming from the UK, wasn't it?
Yeah, the postal vote is provoking a lot of problems because the documents didn't arrive on time. So it's very complicated. Some people, and I know, in Greece, for example, in Germany, in Latin America, for example, received the forms after the elections.
I've got something here because I was briefed on this a bit earlier on. It was about the Viktor Orban and his crowd in Hungary, and it was just this little bit that struck me as being interesting in this light, because if you think of people not being able to get their vote from postal votes, or the people who were denied their votes as European citizens within the UK the other day, this says, although the constituency in question was won by the main party in Hungary by a wide margin, overall the party secured its critical 2/3 majority in Parliament by as little as 425 votes. 425 votes. So he got this kind of, Viktor Orban got this super majority or something, but it was only by less than 500 votes. So it does matter that if people can't vote properly, doesn't it?
Well, It's complicated. It's very complicated. Of course, they have to find out what is going on, and they have to find out where the system is failing.
Yeah, now, does that come down to the European Union investigating the UK government? Or is it an outside body? Will the UN come in and do a test on this? What, I mean, how will this investigation take place? Any idea?
I don't know. I don't know, and now it's even more complicated because of the situation of Brexit situation. In other situation, the European Union will investigate this.
Well, the UK is still a member of the European Union, isn't it?
Irregularities, etc. But right now, deliberate or no, the European Parliament can, or the European Commission can call for an investigation, but it's up to the Electoral Commission in the UK. So it's very complicated. It's outrageous.
It is outrageous, yeah.
They have
but I tell you what was
thousands and thousands of European citizens.
Another thing that you said a little bit earlier on was really quite extraordinary too. I mean, you've said a load of extraordinary things in your talk tonight. I mean, quite. I'm hanging on all these different words you're saying and trying to grab hold of them. But you said that the Brexit thing had actually caused people to re-examine the ideas they had about Europe. And do you think that the Brexit has actually caused this? Because we're told that it's the largest turnout for an EU election so far.
Absolutely. First of all,
so people are actually understanding more the value of the European Union now because of Brexit.
The Brexit shambles have provoked, first of all, for the parties to change their arguments and look into the austerity policies and anti-social policies. And second of all, the Brexit shambles has provoked, because of the arguments of the Brexit party, etc., has provoked curiosity.
Yeah. So, Pilar, I think that you've got a video for us.
Yes, I got two videos. In fact, I got two videos. One of us is from the first time of my husband, Douglas Naismith, who was voting here for the very first time. He was very happy with that. And the other thing was from Chris Carney in Catalonia, who was voting too there, and he wanted to share his views with us.
Okay, roll VT, as they used to say.
I'm Chris Carney, I live here in Catalonia, and I'm voting today in the European elections. I'm voting first of all because I can vote here. In the UK elections I'm not able to vote. Secondly, I'm voting here for the political prisoners who've now been locked up for almost 2 years. The Catalan political prisoners have been locked up for almost 2 years for their views on democracy. And thirdly, I'm voting on behalf, if you like, of all those European citizens in Scotland who've been unable to vote, thanks to the fact that the UK government hasn't given them that right. So I can vote today, and I have voted today.
I'm Douglas, Pilar's husband. Here we are in beautiful Santiago de Compostela, in Galicia, northwest Spain. And there is the polling booth. There's another one just over there. So, 23 years I've been living here, and this is the first time that I'm going to vote. I did try once before and they knocked me back, but I think that was more because I didn't tick the right box. But this time with Brexit and everything, I went down, made sure, ticked all the right boxes. I've got my card. I even changed my driving license. I mean, I've got my British passport, but I'm in the process with the Fajon, there's a new word for you, of Brexit, of becoming Spanish. So a new experience for me. I haven't voted, I don't think, since in the 90s sometime. So I didn't get a vote in Indy ref but I can't even remember the last time I voted. But this is the first time here. So let's go and see if they let me do it.
Casi 50.
Well, there we are. I voted. First time here. It was possible. Did it with my new driving license that doesn't have a Union Jack on it. It's got a nice European flag. And it was a fairly easy process. It's very busy. I just picked the two papers and put them in an envelope. One's the European, the other's the municipal elections. So I decided that for Europe, I voted for Ana Miranda. She's the Bloque Nacionalista Galega. Because, well, they're interested in here. They look after. She does a lot of work in Europe, especially for the fishing sector. Got lots of friends there, and I think it's important to have a voice here in Galicia, not one that's just interested in central Madrid. And for the municipal elections, I voted for Martinho Noriega, he's the alcalde, the mayor here. I liked a lot of the projects he's done, particularly things like the Banquete de Concho, which is kind of historical, political party event, and many other things. Also cleaning up a lot of the corruption from the previous PP administrations, and I think he deserves another shot. And there we are. Hey, I know there was like lots of people in the UK, I think up to 100,000 people in the UK were denied the vote, but I wasn't denied the vote here. So there we are.
So that was lovely to visit Spain, wasn't it? Lovely blue sky, almost as blue as the background behind me, but a bit brighter, a bit more sunny. So now Pilar's there.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Pilar, for taking that wonderful video. It was like a sunbathing on a lovely beach to see that lovely blue sky. Thanks for all your comments. I hope you're going to come back later. I don't know if you are, but if you are, that would be great. But I don't know all the running order. I'll just sit here and hope for the best.
Sure, I'll be delighted.
But thanks for all the insight, for all those projections, and we'll talk a bit later on.